Gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes Mr. Keating.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to discuss the role that non-security assistance plays in Ukraine's resistance efforts, and specifically, I believe, U.S. economic and humanitarian assistance. Two areas of assistance that have been particularly scrutinized today are essential to ensure that frontline Ukrainian service members can focus on the fight on the battlefield and feel some sense of relief that the essential needs of their families are being taken care of. In fact, Chair Kane and I recently held a subcommittee brief on this very topic. During the briefing, expert administration witnesses provided further details on how U.S. direct budget support to Ukraine helps to keep Ukrainian health institutions open, allows first responders to meet emergency medical needs, ensures that children of Ukraine can continue their education, and supports the continued work of civil services, provides essential support to pensioners, a particularly vulnerable portion of the population that simply cannot survive without this support. This direct budget support not only provides a vital boost to the wartime economy, but it also ensures the continued legitimacy of the Ukrainian government with its own people, which is critical for their will to fight. You know, Putin has attacked their infrastructure. He's weaponized, attacks on energy, on food availability, on health care. And in the subcommittee briefing, we also discussed how this assistance has reached up to 3 million people with food assistance, support for service for internally displaced people. It's kept the lights on in Ukraine. It's provided safe drinking water for 5.6 million people and distributed life-saving health care supplies to 4.2 million people, just to name a few examples of what's been done. In short, I said during that briefing that while U.S. and NATO military assistance has been indispensable, I believe U.S. economic and humanitarian support are equally necessary to guarantee Ukraine's wins in this war are reachable, and also to secure the future after the wartime hopefully resolves itself quickly. I want to recognize recent actions taken by the Ukrainian government to ensure effective management of U.S. assistance. Ukraine has forged ahead with anti-corruption measures and rule of law initiatives, demonstrating the importance with which they view accountability. In fact, a few weeks ago I met with the Prosecutor General Keating, who's made clear to me Ukraine's determination to root out corruption at the highest levels. In my discussions with my Ukrainian counterparts, they made it clear that they see any misuse of assistance to Ukraine as a treasonous act against the government itself. Turning back to our witnesses, I've read your testimony and listened here today, and I have to say that anyone listening to your testimony should be impressed with the focus and attention that your agencies placed on oversight and our assistance to Ukraine in general. From audits for our assistance to end-use monitoring of defense articles to deployment of third-party monitoring organizations. Together, your departments have conducted a vast array of congressionally mandated oversight measures, ensuring that every dollar of taxpayer money spent in Ukraine is spent wisely and without diversion. For example, with regards to the U.S. direct financial support, and to quote the report directly, quote, "The mechanisms for monitoring and oversight of funds made available under the FY 2023 Ukraine Supplementary Appropriations Act for direct financial support for the government of Ukraine are in place and functioning, and that the government of Ukraine has in place substantial safeguards to prevent corruption, and to ensure accountability of such funds." That's directly from the report. So simply put, the report we're discussing today is, without a doubt, it's a good news story. The oversight mechanisms in place for assistance to Ukraine go above and beyond typical safeguards, including hiring a third-party private auditor in Deloitte. And I believe the work of your office has undertaken is another demonstration that U.S. taxpayer dollars are being spent wisely, appropriately, and in furtherance of our U.S. national security for the benefit of the Ukrainian war effort. With that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.